What is up with my hair? I look like Dwight Schrute. Oh no. Hello everybody, my name is Miranda and welcome to my universe, and today I am so excited for this video because we are going to be talking about my February TBR. If you have seen my 2019 goals video, then you are well aware that this year I am planning on making themed months where I put a theme to a month, and throughout the duration of that month I only read books that fit into the theme. So we are starting that in February. I am really excited for it, and if you couldn't already tell by the title, February's theme is fantasy. So I have 8 books that I want to read on my TBR, and that is kind of like a whopping number compared to the 5 I read in January. I almost always never follow my TBRs, actually. I'm such a random reader that I always change what I want to read as I'm reading things. Like, I'll read one book and then I'll finish it and I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna read this book, and then wait, no, just kidding, I wanna read that book. And then it's just, I'm so random and I'm so everywhere. Like, all the time. So we're gonna see if I actually end up reading all of these books or if I only end up reading some of them and then I add different fantasy books to them. I have a lot of good books that I really want to read this month. So let's just get into them, shall we? The first book I want to read in February is, quite honestly, the most beautiful book I own right now, and that is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. Look at how handsome he is. If you have never read any of Leigh Bardugo's books, then I'm just gonna let you know right now that Leigh Bardugo, almost all of the books she writes, they take place in this Grisha-verse, which is the universe that she has created. It is full of magic and different kinds of magic, and people wield it in different ways. And this book is all about our character Nikolai, who is actually one of my favorite characters in the Shadow and Bone trilogy that is also written by Leigh Bardugo. So we follow around Nikolai as he grows up as the king's son, but he goes through this emo phase and he decides to leave the country and become a pirate. We love that for him.
Hey guys, editing Miranda here. I actually pre-recorded this video and I realized just now that I got the entire plot of King of Scars wrong. Yes, it is about Nikolai, but I originally thought that it was a prequel, and I thought that you learned about Nikolai and how he became the person that we know him as in Shadow and Bone. But that's very wrong. This story actually takes place after the Shadow and Bone trilogy and after Six of Crows, so it connects both of the series into one book. I totally didn't really know what the plot was about at first. I don't know why I thought it was a prequel. But yes, I didn't want to confuse you guys, and that was completely my bad, but yeah.
This was definitely one of my most hyped up books for 2019, and I'm so excited that it is in my hands. It was published last week and I got it the day of because I am obsessed. So yes, I'm definitely kicking off Fantasy February with a bang. We're gonna read King of Scars. Yes. After King of Scars, I am planning on reading a trilogy, and this is a very well-known trilogy that I have never read in my entire life, and I'm kind of nervous about this, but I specifically made February fantasy because I wanted to read this series, so I'm definitely not backing down now, and that is Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. So I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't know a lot about Lord of the Rings. I watched the first movie when I was a young bean. It was a couple years ago, and I remember absolutely nothing about it. Quite honestly, the only things I remember about this story are the things I was taught in VeggieTales reimagining of this, and that it was called Lord of the Beans. So I'm kind of going into this blindly, and I have no idea how it's going to end up. I don't know if I'm going to end up completely falling in love with this series or if I'm not gonna really like it and only end up reading the first book. So this is definitely more of a risky kind of jump I'm taking, but hey, maybe I'll find the most adventure through that. After Lord of the Rings, I am also planning on reading another trilogy, and that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I got the boxed set for Christmas, and honestly, like, I've always wanted to read Sarah J Maas, but I'm kind of intimidated by the length that Throne of Glass is. I'm pretty sure there's like 8 or 9 books to that series, and that's a bit much. So in order to accurately judge whether I enjoy Sarah J Maas's writing style, I am first going to read her trilogy and we'll go from there. All I know about this book is that it is set in a fairy world with fairies. I'm pretty sure our main character kills this beast in the forest and then she gets taken captive, and that is how she finds out about the fairy world, but I don't know anything else about the plot. So, this is also kind of a blind read, I guess you could say. I was just yelled at by my mom because I accidentally left the milk sitting on the counter. Learn from my mistakes. And the 8th and final book that I am planning on reading for Fantasy February is Fury Born by Claire Legrand. This is a book all about this kingdom, and I don't know what fantasy elements are in it, but I do know that it is a fantasy, so that'll be a big surprise for me. But it is about this kingdom, and 2 queens have to rise to power when their kingdom comes into chaos. I don't know if the point of view is from the queen's perspective or if it's someone else, and I will find out. We'll find out along the way. Alrighty, y'all, that is it. Those were all 8 of the books that I am planning on reading in February. If you have ever read any of them and you have hate thoughts or love thoughts or any thoughts about these books, then please comment down below because I do want to talk about them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Please be safe, make good choices, and I will see you next time. Bye!